Hello, it's Jose Cancino, and this is my authoritarianism assignment on Francisco Franco of the Spanish Civil War of 1936. So, Francisco Franco stayed in power by using military rule. He used the army, the police, and as all dictators have, his very own secret police to rule over Spain with an iron fist. And he even had an alliance with the Catholic Church, and they basically influenced education and morals that were taught towards the youth of Spain. Now, I just talked a bit about it, but the propaganda and the censorship that comes with it by default, and even the fear, um, affected the people by severing basically their free speech and even to a certain degree their um, freedom to think for themselves. The propaganda that was brought down onto Spain by Franco's political party was one where they pictured him almost like in a fatherly role, that he was going to unify Spain. And it sort of reminds me of how Stalin's propaganda was structured in Russia. Um, Anyways, though, the censorship that came along affected the people by like practically having bans on literature, on songs, even like stage performances and plays, which is like always a funny one because it is like a form or like a vessel you can use to like critique the government. I mean, it's not really that funny because people are losing their um their freedoms, but you get what I'm saying. Um, yeah, basically affected their way of life, how they go about living, and so basically, the next question was, what choices did citizens have, and what were the consequences? There were, well, I can give like four, I guess you could say. There was practically giving in for one, um, and living within Franco's uh, Spain. There was also rebelling, a noble avenue you could take. There was fleeing Spain, and I guess the third, just again living in Spain, but just living under the radar, I guess. But um, opposing Spain, even like how the question was structured, had consequences. You can get executed, um, tortured. I think I even read, and just overall not good outcomes. So the next question was, how did the events that we researched in the newspaper from the 1930s allow us to see the dangers of authoritarian dictatorial governments? So for me, I came across this story or this section on the newspaper that practically, I keep on saying practically, anyways, it reported that 16 rebel army officers, um, they committed suicide as opposed to surrendering, and they did so in the vicinity where there was a Don Quixote statue. And it stayed with me because one of the themes in the tale of Don Quixote, I guess you could say, is about dictatorship, authoritarianism, and freedoms. Individual freedom. So I guess that personally, um, it teaches me that there will always be a symbol of, I guess you could say, freedom, uh, somewhere, anywhere, against these authoritarian um, parties, or uh, not even parties, just entities, I guess is what I'm going to call them. And what lessons can we learn today about democracy and freedom? I guess keeping in line with the last question is that we have to try to, I guess, not to an extreme rebel if it doesn't call for that, but we have to oppose authoritarianism, because democracy is how we, as a collective, uh, get things done. It involves all of us to work slash, um, even brainstorm on how to go about living in a society, and that gives us freedoms. It involves us. So I think that's the end of the question, or my response, I should say, and the end of the questions. So thank you for listening. Hope you have a good one.